Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudire Nashtaprayeshu Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttam Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Nashtaki. So continuing with our discussion, Srimad Bhagavatam, first canto, 11th chapter, Lord Krishna's entrance into Dwarka. Text number 32 onwards. तमात्मजय दृष्टिभिरन्तरात्मना दुरन्तभावा परिदेभिरे प्रतिम् निरुद्धम्यप्यास्त्रवदम्बुनेत्रयोर्विलञ्चितीनां भृगुवर्यवैक्लवात्. So Sud Goswami is further saying, the insuperable ecstasy was so strong that the queens who were shy first embraced the Lord in the innermost recesses of their hearts. Then they embraced him visually, and then they sent their sons to embrace him, which is equal to personal embracing. But, O chief amongst the Bhrigus, though they tried to restrain their feelings, they inadvertently shed tears. So this is when Krishna now entered the palace where all the queens were residing. So the queens, they were shy, so they didn't just run up to the Lord and give him a hug. So they embraced him in the recesses of their hearts. Means they embraced him uh, virtually, or they visualized it, and then they embraced him visually, means by the eyes, and then they sent the sons to embrace him. So in the Purport, Prabhupada is writing, although due to feminine shyness, there were many hindrances to embracing the dear husband, Lord Shri Krishna. The queens performed that act by seeing him, by putting him in the courts of their hearts, and by sending their sons to embrace him. Still, the act remained unfinished, and tears rolled down their cheeks despite all endeavors to check them. One indirectly embraces the husband by sending the son to embrace him, because the son is developed as part of the mother's body. So this is the reason they sent the sons. So if the son is embracing the father, it's of course it's not the same, but it still gives them the satisfaction. The embrace of the son is not exactly the embrace of husband and wife from the sexual point of view, but the embrace is satisfaction from the affectionate point of view. The embrace of the eyes is more effective in the conjugal relation. And thus, according to Srila Jiva Goswami, there is nothing wrong in such an exchange of feeling between husband and wife. So, embrace of the eyes is more effective in the conjugal relation. There was, on the internet, this conversation has been going on. Once, sometimes they say it's between guru and disciple. Sometimes it's just between two people. So, but the essence is very important. The essence was, so Guru asked his disciples that when we fight, why do we shout at each other, even though we are standing very close to each other, but we still uh, shout loudly at each other when we fight. So the disciples, they could not answer it. So the Guruji said that because when we fight, actually physically we could be close, but our hearts are far apart. So we have to shout at each other to make other person listen. And then he was saying, so if two people, they're very close, they're very good friends, they never shout, they just speak very softly. And in fact, when a girl and a boy, if they are in love, they speak even more softly when they are really in love, when they are not fighting. Of course, when they're fighting, they're shouting at each other. And then Guruji kept on explaining that when they are in more love, really deep love, They don't even talk to each other. Even just with the signal of their eyes, they both can understand what the other person is trying to say. So they're so even though they could be far away physically, but since their hearts are together, hearts are closer, so they don't even have to say things. Just by the movement of the eyes, the other person can understand. This is a Prabhupada. The embrace of the eyes is more effective in the conjugal relationship. So that is because if the hearts are so close together, just the movement of the eyes, that's good enough. In fact, there is a beautiful bhajan by Rupa Goswami, Radha Kripa Kataksh. So that Kataksh is what? Uh, Kataksh means if Radha Rani just glances over somebody, she doesn't even look properly at somebody, just a glance, just from the corner of her eyes. That is what exactly it means. Corner of her eyes, when she looks at somebody. So that is Kataksh. So Kripa Kataksh means just look at me with mercy, just by the corner of your eyes. The devotee is praying to Srimati Radharani for that. And in fact, it is said that Srimati Radharani, when she is with Krishna, so her eyes, because of this, because I had explained earlier about this Vipralamba bhav. No, I'm sorry. Swakiya and Parkiya bhav. Parkiya bhav. So Swakiya is her own wife and Parkiya is somebody else's wife. So Radha and Krishna, they wanted to enjoy this rasa, this mood of being married to somebody else, but still they're meeting together. Of course, nobody can marry Radharani except Krishna. Srimati Radharani, of course, she marries Krishna in Bhandirvan, and Brahmaji performs the marriage. But that pastime is very hidden, it's very confidential. Not too many people know about it. So, the more popular pastime of her marriage is with Abhimanyu. Not the Abhimanyu of Mahabharata, Arjuna's son. It's another Abhimanyu in Vrindavan. And that Abhimanyu, actually, it is according to scriptures, he is the expansion of shadow of Krishna. Or he's the incarnation of shadow of Krishna. So Radharani cannot be with anybody, even in the shadow. So for her to be with somebody, it has to be Krishna, related to Krishna. So shadow of Krishna is Krishna and not Krishna at the same time. And so she, for the pastime, she married him. So even after marriage, she meets Krishna, person Krishna. So it is said when she is with Krishna, her eyes are always looking around, looking at different things because she's always watchful of if her mother-in-law is going to come or sister-in-law is going to come and see them. So it is said that she looks straight with half the eyes, and one and quarter of the eyes goes left and quarter of the eyes go right, just to look around. So she just looks at Krishna with only one quarter of the eye, just by the corner of her eyes, because rest of the eyes she's using, quarter she's using for her devotees, and rest to look out for the trouble. So in the past tense, it is mentioned that she looks at Krishna just by the corner of her eye, but the affection, the love is so much that Krishna loses his. In fact, it is said that he even loses his dhoti. His dhoti becomes untied and it falls off. And he loses his flute, he loses his more mukut, everything. Just that one looking of Radharani by her corner of her eye, because it is full of so much of love for Krishna, so much of affection for Krishna. So that is what Prabhupada, the embrace of the eyes is more effective in the conjugal relationship. So that embrace the queens of Dwarka were giving to Krishna because Krishna had come back. यद्यपि असो पार्श्वगतो रहो गतस्तथापि तस्याङ्घ्रियुगं नवं नवं पदे पदे काविरमेत तत्पदा जलापि यच्छीर्न जहाति करहिचित्. Although Lord Shri Krishna was constantly by their sides, as well as exclusively alone, his feet appeared to them to be newer and newer. The goddess of fortune, although by nature always restless and moving, could not quit the Lord's feet. So, what woman can be detached from those feet having once taken shelter of them? Conditioned living beings are always after the favor of the goddess of fortune, although by nature she is moving from one place to another. In the material world, no one is permanently fortunate, however clever one may be. So, goddess of fortune, another name for Lakshmi ji is Chanchala. She is Chanchala, means she does not stay at one place or in one family or in one household for too long. She is always moving around. There have been so many big empires in different parts of the world. There have been so many powerful kings all over the world. And there have been so many fortunate men, but all of them have been liquidated gradually. This is the law of material nature. But spiritually, it is different. According to Brahma Samhita, the Lord is served very respectfully by hundreds and thousands of goddesses of fortune. They are always in a lonely place also with the Lord, but still the association of the Lord is also inspiringly newer and newer that they cannot quit the Lord for a moment, even though they are by nature very restless and are moving about. The spiritual relation with the Lord is so enlivening and resourceful that no one can leave the company of the Lord once having taken shelter of Him. So this is the nature of goddess of her. In material world, she is always moving around from one household to another household. But when it comes to Krishna, she is always holding on to his lotus feet. So longer purport, but last paragraph, Prabhupada says, generally people engaged in service are always seeking some post under the government or the supreme enjoyer of the state. Since the Lord is the supreme enjoyer of everything in or outside the universe, it is happiness to be employed by Him. Once engaged in the supreme governmental service of the Lord, no living being wishes to be relieved from the engagement. The highest perfection of human life is to seek some employment under the Lord's supreme service that will make one extremely happy. One need not seek the moving goddess of fortune without the relation of the Lord. So the Lakshmi ji, or the goddess of fortune, is always moving around, but she does not move when she is holding on to the lotus feet of the Lord. Very important for us to understand. We all want favors of Lakshmi ji. We all want money, money, money. We all want good fortune, good fortune, good fortune. None of us wants misfortune in our lives, but still it comes. Come day of Diwali, we do so much of worship of Lakshmi ji, and we ask for the benedictions of Lakshmi ji. Please, whichever part of Lakshmi ji is in our house, let it stay here, and let more and more come. But she is Chanchala. She cannot stay at one place for too long, except except the lotus feet of the Lord. So the idea is, so the secret is, bring the Lord at home. Bring Krishna at home, bring Shri Ram at home, bring Narayan at home, and Lakshmi ji will come along with them. Krishna entered Dwarka, all 16,108 queens. Queens were, they were, not they were expansions of Lakshmi ji, actually their expansion is Lakshmi ji. And they were waiting for Krishna. So Lakshmi ji cannot leave a place where her husband is residing. Alone she cannot live at that place. So the idea is, if we take up the service of Krishna, take up the service of Lord Shri Ram, or Narayan or Vishnu, whichever form you like, then Lakshmi ji will come and stay with that form of the Lord. Ravan, what he wanted? Ravan wanted to enjoy Sita, but he never wanted to serve Ram. That's where the whole mistake was. And that's where the whole dynasty got vanquished. So we also want to enjoy Lakshmi, but we don't want to serve Narayan. And that's why we also get in trouble. So if you really want Lakshmi ji and if you really want Lakshmi ji to stay at the house, bring Narayan, bring Ram, bring Krishna, and she will come and stay permanently. So that is the secret, actually. See, and when Lakshmi ji is there, even Krishna cannot. I mean, they both have to be there together. Because if Lakshmi ji is there, Krishna has to stay there. Like just look at Jagannath ji. He could not stay without Lakshmi ji for too many days in Vrindavan. He had to go back and then he had to please her also. That okay, I was out for so many days, I didn't inform you. So he had to wear this golden attire, and Lakshmi ji was upset. She didn't open the door, and then the whole ceremony happens, pastime happens. Then finally, she was happy because she is fed rasgulla, and then she opens the door. See, that is a real pastime. But we want Lakshmi, Lakshmi, Lakshmi. We don't want to serve Narayan, and that's where the problem is. Text 34. एवं नृपाणां क्षितिभिरा जन्मना मक्षोहिणीभिः परिवृत तेजसां विधाय वैरं श्वसनो यथानलं मिथो वधेनो परतो निरायुधः. The Lord was pacified after killing those kings who were burdensome to the earth. They were puffed up with their military strength, their horses, elephants, chariots, infantry, etc. He himself was not a party in the fight. He simply created hostility between the powerful administrators, and they fought amongst themselves. He was like the wind, which causes friction between bamboos and so sparks a fire. As stated above, the living beings are not factual enjoyers of things which are manifested by God's creation. The Lord is a genuine proprietor and enjoyer of everything manifested in His creation. Unfortunately, influenced by the deluding enemy, the living being becomes a false enjoyer under the dictation of the modes of nature. So, under the dictation of modes of nature, so we are under the dictation, we are always under the dictation, subjugation of the modes of nature, but we think I'm the enjoyer. That's why Prabhupada writes, he becomes a false enjoyer. It's like somebody is holding a gun on us and he says, you enjoy. And we think we are enjoying. How can we? Until we are free, we are independent. We are not slaves. How can we enjoy anything? But this is what Maya is. Maya has captured. Has completely subjugated us, and we think we are the enjoyers. Puffed up by such a false sense of becoming God, the deluded living being increases his material strength by so many activities and thus becomes the burden of the earth. So much so that the earth becomes completely inhabitable by the same. This state of affairs is called dharmasya glani, or misuse of the energy of the human being. So the deluded living beings. So by what they become deluded? Because they think they are the enjoyers, they're the controllers, they're the proprietors. And they think I can increase my material strength by so many activities. And thus they become burden on the earth. Earth, the same earth can, like Prabhupada also said, same earth can support 10 times the population that we have right now. Governments say that the population is overpopulated. The earth is not at all overpopulated. Just like a mother can take care of tens of kids. It's not a problem for a mother. If the only thing is, Earth does not want all these nonsense kids. If the kids are God conscious, if the population becomes God conscious, Earth can provide enough food for 10 times the population we have right now. And everybody can live abundantly, very happily. But because we are not God conscious, Earth does not supply the whole thing that she can or she wants to. And that's why there's so much of famine and so much of shortage. Earth is also, Earth is actually wife of Krishna, Bhudevi. She is Bhudevi, wife of Vishnu. So there is no problem for her to supply, but she does not. She has withheld her supplies because we are not God conscious. When such misuse of human energy is prominent, the saner living beings become perturbed by the awkward situations created by the vicious administrators, who are simply burdens of the earth, and the Lord appears by his internal potency just to save the saner sections of humanity and to alleviate the burden due to earthly administrators in different parts of the world. So, this is what he does. Paritranaయ sadhunam vinashaya cha dushkrita. So no one can establish peace and prosperity in the world by fruitive activities or by speculative philosophy or ideology. The only way is to surrender unto the Supreme Lord and thus become free from the illusion of the deluding energy. So all we have to do is just surrender to Krishna or Krishna's instructions, and that's how we will be free from Maya. Somebody had asked Prabhupada, how long does it take for one to surrender unto Krishna? Means how many lifetimes will it take? Prabhupada, being a pure devotee of the Lord, he says it takes only 1 second. That's it. In 1 second, we can surrender. But the problem is, even if we given thousands of births, we will not surrender because we don't want. If we don't want. And if we surrender, then Maya cannot act on us. But we don't surrender. So it's just like now, today I heard this. It's again raining in Delhi and it's raining a lot. So somebody takes an umbrella and goes out in the rain. So as long as he is under the umbrella, theoretically he is protected from the rain. But if he is holding on to the umbrella and he still tries to go little bit outside, let me see how much it is raining, he'll definitely get wet. So it's simple. Similarly, if we are under the shelter of Krishna, then Maya cannot touch us. But if we try to, okay, I have taken shelter, but let me see how strong Maya is. And then he just bends and he looks outside and he tries to sneak out. Then he will be captured. So it's not that Krishna does not want us to surrender. He does not want to protect us from Maya. It's just we want to flirt with Maya. So what can he do? So he waits for us to surrender completely. Or then otherwise, then he also he makes us surrender. Then it will be very painful. Then it becomes little painful because when he makes us surrender. So towards the end of the purport, Prabhupada writing, they are the lowest of human beings because the human life is especially meant for re-establishing the lost relationship with the Lord. And they miss this opportunity by being engaged in material activities. They means those who don't surrender. They are robbed of their knowledge because even after prolonged speculation, they cannot reach to the stage of knowing the personality of Godhead, the summum bonum of everything. And all of them are men of demoniac principle and they suffer the consequences, as did such materialistic heroes as Ravan, Hiranyakashipu, Kansa, and others. So those who are materialistic, those who think they can enjoy or control or be the proprietor, they have to suffer. Simple as that. And those who surrender, they enjoy. And that's why in Bombaya, in the language of Bombay, there's a saying, uh, Maya Das Hamesha Rahe Udas, Par Krishna Das Bindas. So in Bombay, they use this kind of language. Maya Das, Udas, Krishna Das, Bindas. So that's what we have to become. Hare Krishna. Anybody has any questions or comments?
Das?
Maya Das Rahe Udas.
Okay.
Krishna Das Bindas.
That's true, Prabhuji.
It's something new, so I really like it.
Well, it will take you a long time to read or understand Vidur Samhita. So please keep on attending the lectures.
Sure, Guruji.
So this is all in Vidur Samhita. So any other questions or comments?
Yeah,
Hare
Guruji.
Krishna, Prabhuji.
Yes. So who, Raghu Prabhu, or who wants to say? Archana?
No, Raghu Prabhuji first. Thanks.
Namaskar.
Yes, sir. Namaskar, Raghu Prabhu. How are you?
I'm fine. So it's a very auspicious day of Guru Purnima, and it's a blessing that we are having your lecture.
We are blessed that we are reading Prabhupada's Bhagavatam. So
Yeah.
Prabhupada is a guru.
Yeah.
Just a servant.
Yeah. So I just had that question. You said, when people are angry, they shout at each other, and you said their hearts are very distant while their bodies are too close. Is it really heart or is it Atma? I mean, maybe it's a connotation.
No, so Atma is nothing to do with all this. It's a heart. It's just the feelings are not there. So means the heart is different.
Okay.
Don't try at home with your wife today. So
Yeah.
so I can see you're not going to office today. You're at home or going to temple or something.
Yeah. I just finished my prayer. I will be going to temple and evening because it is Chandragrahan. So we'll be doing some prayers at home in the night, midnight.
Oh, yeah, wonderful.
Yeah.
Very nice.
At 11 to 1, we have to do some prayers. So Gayatri Mantra or something. Yeah.
Great. That'll be great.
Thank you.
Yes, Archana Mata, you're saying something.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Prabhuji, as you said that God will forcefully make us to do surrender. How forcefully means like?
Well, if we want to surrender, but still our determination is not there, and so what is Krishna gonna do? He's gonna help us. So surrender means what? Like if we don't surrender, just like Ravan, Hiranyakashipu, Kansa, they didn't want to. So they were acquiring more and more. They think they are the controllers, proprietors, enjoyers. So when he wants us to surrender, then he'll remove those things which are obstacles in surrender.
No. In that case, रावण को हटा दिया तो रावण ने surrender कहाँ से कर दिया?
नहीं, रावण ने surrender नहीं किया. But in our Ravan was a Jai Vijay, so their role was different.
Example, it was just example. Like
Yeah,
people who don't want to surrender, उनको तो आपने remove, मतलब भगवान जी ने remove कर दिया, तो how they have surrendered?
No, so their case was different. We cannot compare with Ravan. So in our case, the Ravanic tendency has to be removed.
Okay.
The tendency, Ravan had the tendency of lusty desires. She wanted to enjoy Sita. He will remove He will make us frustrated. Simple, no? For Krishna, he will make us frustrated. Just like now again, Vidur Samhita comes in. No? Just like I'm pretty sure, like everybody of our age have watched this movie, Mughal Azam.
Mhm.
And I remember like one of my favorite dialogues when Akbar tells Anarkali that that Anarkali, सलीम तुझे मरने नहीं देगा, मैं तुझे जीने नहीं दूंगा. Right?
Uh-huh.
फंस गई बेचारी अनारकली. So similar thing happens with us when we are trying to surrender, but we don't surrender properly. Krishna says, माया तुझे एंजॉय नहीं कर, माया तुझे छोड़ेगी नहीं, मैं तुझे एंजॉय नहीं करने दूंगा. So we better take shelter of Krishna.
That's great.
So just remember, we are anarkali and we are just stuck. Neither this way nor that way.
Seriously.
So we better surrender. And it's not like by surrendering we'll lose anything. We'll gain everything. We'll gain the real freedom. We'll gain the real enjoyment, the eternal life, bliss, happiness. Everything is there. It just we have some fear of losing all the material things. That's all. But Krishna will give us everything. ठीक है?
Thank you, Prabhuji. Thank you very much.
Okay.
Thank you very
brother.
much for such a nice class.
Thank you, brother. Thank you, brother. Hare Krishna.
Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Hare
You-
Krishna, Prabhuji.
You all enjoy Guru Purnima today. It's a wonderful day of related to Sanatan Goswami also.
Yes.
And today is a day when they do Govardhan Parikrama. Every single Brajvasi comes and does Govardhan Parikrama today because to honor Sanatan Goswami. Because Sanatan Goswami is like father of all the Brajvasis. Then today is his disappearance day. To honor Sanatan Goswami, in fact, they all shave their heads. They all shave their heads today, and they do Govardhan Parikrama because Sanatan Goswami was fond of doing Govardhan Parikrama every day. So it's like 10 times more crowded than the day of Govardhan Puja. That's how crowded it is today at Govardhan. So we should read about Sanatan Goswami, pay our respects to Sanatan Goswami, and very auspicious day today.
Sure.
Hare Krishna. You all have a wonderful day.
Yeah.
Hare Krishna. Jai Srila Prabhupada.
Jai Shri Prabhupada.
Hare Krishna,
Hare
Prabhuji.
Krishna,
Thank you
Prabhuji.
so
Thank you.
much.